Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video I want to help you be more creative in the way you practice your musical pieces. Many times we practice mostly the technical aspect of our pieces, but not so often the creative ideas and musicianship aspect of our practice is also how to make a phrase, the dynamics, our vibrato, how to nuance our sound. And today I want to give you a couple of advice how to be creative when you practice this aspect and how to be aware the same way as you are when you have a technical problem and you usually practice this problem and then repeat it, and eventually when you make it right, you repeat it in a correct way. So I'm going to give you 3 exercises plus 1 bonus exercise at the end of this video to increase your creativity in a form of musicianship, not only technical. Number 1 is to construct the variety of dynamics. You could practice doing crescendo and diminuendo, starting from the frog to the top of the bow, and then divert. So let's say you want to practice G major scale, and you start here. So if you hear all of the nuances I did, that's very good. But if you didn't, I can tell you that I did a big variation, and hopefully you could hear it too. So the first thing to practice, you can start in forte and do diminuendo at the top of the bow, then start piano and then crescendo and forte. This is quite common technique to use in most of the romantic pieces for violin or any instrument actually. So let's say we start on the same scale. So I start forte. Then you can do the opposite, start piano at the frog and do crescendo, which is quite unusual because we are trying to usually dispose the bow in a way that you play forte at the bottom of the bow and piano at the top of the bow. But now we do the opposite, just for the sake of the practice. And so on. You can also practice starting forte and then doing subito piano at the top. And do the opposite. So there are a lot of variation in dynamics you can do, which also will train your right hand technique. Number 2 is vibrato. And I have a lot of videos about vibrato, the technique of vibrato, but in this case I just want to talk about vibrato as dimension of your sound. I think you should try to do everything possible to tackle the weakness you have with the vibrato. For example, if you have problem to play with one finger, just try to use that finger and practice vibrato. If you have a specific position on the violin that you feel you are not very good at, you can practice that one. You can practice the most uncomfortable string. Number 3 should be to learn how to control the color of your sound. For example, you can combine the 2 exercises that I talked about before, the vibrato and the dynamic, and exercise that on a scale or just a piece of the music that you are practicing right now. Very often the music starts with very airy and light sound with narrow vibrato at the top, and then you go more forte and wider vibrato. So you can train that, starting on A, for example. So very airy and fast vibrato. That's one way to practice. You could do the opposite. Start piano here and intense vibrato, and then go crescendo and wider vibrato. And you can practice this transition between the sound on the frog to the top to be very, very invisible, almost like you cannot hear when you went from forte to piano. And then, of course, practice again the subito piano or subito forte with the vibrato together, wide vibrato or narrow vibrato. You can also do variation on the pressure of the bow. And that will be my bonus exercise for you, which I called wave exercise. So basically what I'm doing, I'm pressing down my point finger and creating these waves. And at the same time I'm having a constant pressure on the bow. You can also practice this faster tempo. Press less. I think I did 4 waves now, but you can decide to do more in a faster tempo. Or less. Change where you do the press. For example, you can start with pressing. this is basically training the control of the pressure on the bow. You can think of the color of your phrases as different musicians that you admire and you like to sound like them. So one maybe with a very wide vibrato and somebody with more narrow. Maybe you like the sound of someone who plays more airy and light, and someone who maybe doesn't do very much of a phrasing. And we are so blessed to have access to all of these recordings nowadays. So just choose a couple of musicians that you really admire and try to get some ideas from them. That was all for today. I hope that you are enjoying the videos, and if you do, please subscribe, share it with friends, and like it. Give me thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.